Here, topics for today.
Topic is dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis basically we used to convert one unit into another unit. Like if you want to convert days into seconds, if you want to convert kilogram into grams, if you convert foot into inches, if you want to convert foot into centimeters. In that case, we will use dimensional analysis method. To understand the concept, we will try to do a question that is convert. First, we will write here topic name dimensional analysis. Now, here is the question: convert 2 days into seconds. आपको इस क्वेश्चन में ये बताना है बेटा 2 डेज में कितने सेकंड हो गए. एक तो आप यूनिटरी मेथड लगाते हैं लाइक यू कन्वर्ट एवरी आवर इनटू सेकंड, एवरी आवर इनटू मिनट्स, बट बाय यूजिंग डायमेंशनल एनालिसिस मेथड यू कैन डायरेक्टली कन्वर्ट 2 days into seconds. How? You have to calculate 2 days into seconds. So we will write here 2 days multiply. Now we don't want day, so what we will do, just we will put here 1 day. Clear? 1 day is equal to how much hours? 24 hours. Clear? Now we don't want hour, so we will write here 1 hour. 1 hour is equal to how much minute? 60 minute. We don't want minute, we will write here 1 minute. 1 minute is equal to how much seconds? 60 seconds. Clear? So whatever the values we see common, we will delete all. So now the left value is second. So we will write digits 2 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 seconds. तो जब आप इसको सोल्व करेंगे तो आपको कितना आंसर मिलना चाहिए? 3600 प्लस 48 0 1728000 seconds. That is your answer. Very easy. Okay. Otherwise you will calculate 1 day में कितना सेकंड होता है, कितना आवर्स होता है, कितना मिनट होता है, उसमें आपको बहुत ज्यादा हेक्टिक होगा. Okay. Now we will do the next question. How many centimeter in 2 feet? 2 फीट में कितने सेंटीमीटर होते हैं बेटा? ठीक है. अब आपको पता होना चाहिए कि यूनिट्स आपकी किस में कन्वर्ट होती है, फीट में क्या कितना सेंटीमीटर होता है, इंच कितना होता है, वो आपको सारा याद करना होगा. ठीक है. तो वी विल कैलकुलेट 2 फीट. नाउ वी डोंट वांट फीट वर्ड हियर, तो वी विल राइट हियर 1 फीट. 1 फीट इज इक्वल टू हाउ मच इंचेस? इट इज इक्वल टू 12 इंचेस. ओके. Now 1 inch, we don't want inch. 1 inch is equal to how much centimeter? 2.54 centimeter. Okay, inch से inch cancel, feet से feet cancel, तो 2 multiply by 12 multiply by 2.54, तो आपके पास वैल्यू आ गई 24 multiply by 2.54. 60.96 सेंटीमीटर. ये आपका बेटा आंसर. क्लियर? With the new topic, that is the laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combinations are very important for your exam. At least 2 questions will be asked in your exam, and you have to go thoroughly. You have to understand the concept very thoroughly. So let's start with the first law, that is law of conservation of mass. Now what laws of conservation of mass says? So we will write here law of chemical combinations. Laws of chemical combinations. So in laws of chemical combination, first law is your law of conservation of mass. Now which states that mass in a given chemical reaction neither be created nor be destroyed. Nor be destroyed. Clear? What is mean that? अभी तक आपने 9th क्लास में पढ़ा है, ये सिर्फ डेफिनेशन आपने पढ़ी है. जैसे कि if you take an example of C plus O2, it's giving CO2. So here we have two reactant. These are the reactant, and this is your product. CO2 is your product. Now, what is the mass of carbon here? That is 12 gram. And what is the mass of O2 here? 16 multiplied by 2, that is 32. So if you calculate the molecular mass of CO2 here, 12 multiplied by 32, that is 44 gram. Okay. Now if you add the masses of reactant, 12 plus 32 is also 44 gram. It means what? The mass of the reactant, 44 gram, is equal to the mass of product, 44 gram. It means this reaction following law of conservation of mass. Clear? Every reaction in the universe, every chemical reaction in the universe follow conservation of mass. Clear? Now, okay, your second law is law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion, and also known as constant proportion. Constant proportion. Now what this law states that any compound, okay, any compound which produced or which obtained in a chemical reaction different sources from different ways contain the same elements combined in simple ratio by mass. Okay, now we will write few equation here. Example हम ले लेते हैं यहाँ पे CO2 का production. CO2 हम लेके चल रहे हैं by the different reactants like C plus O2, it giving CO2. Clear? CO plus O2 giving CO2. If we write CaCO3, it will also give CO2. Now एक और करते हैं. चलो ये काफी, तीन काफी है. अब इन तीनों रिएक्शन को आप देखें तो इन तीनों के अंदर आपको CO2 मिल रहा है. तो if you see the simple ratio of C or O, here carbon is how much? Carbon is 12 gram. How much oxygen? 32 gram. तो अगर आप इसमें से कॉमन वैल्यूज भी लेंगे तो आपके पास कितना आ जाएगा? 3 ग्राम. ठीक है, 4 कॉमन ले लिया मैंने यहां से, एंड दैट इज 8 ग्राम. So always the carbon is 3 gram at least and the oxygen is 8 gram. Whatever the reactant we have, the CO2 production, or it's always present in a definite proportion, and that is 3:8.
Okay, student, now we will do some questions which is based on law of conservation of mass, law of definite proportion, and as well as based on dimensional analysis. Now let's here we will solve 6 problems which are based on conservation of mass, which stated that mass neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. First problem is 4 gram of hydrogen react with some oxygen to make 36 gram of water. Figure out how much oxygen must be have been used by applying the law of conservation of mass. Now, if you see here inside the solution, we will write first the word equation, that is hydrogen plus oxygen giving water. Now, the mass of each substance is given here. Hydrogen is 4 gram and the water is 36 gram. Now, according to law of conservation of mass, the mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. It means 4 plus mass of oxygen, which we have to calculate, is equal to 36 gram. So if you minus 4 from 36, then you will able to obtain the mass of oxygen, that is 32 gram was used in the chemical reaction. Now problem number 2. In a chemical reaction, 150 gram of baking soda mixture containing sodium bicarbonate and vinegar on heating gives 87 gram of carbon dioxide. What mass of solid residue will left in food? Solution. According to law of conservation of mass, total mass of reactant is equal to total mass of product. Here, baking soda mixture, that is reactant, on heating gives solid residues and carbon dioxide as product. Here, baking soda mixture reactant on heating gives solid residue and carbon dioxide, that is product. Now, mass of baking soda is equal to mass of solid residue plus mass of carbon dioxide. Hence, the mass of solid residue is 150 gram minus 87 gram is equal to 63 gram. Let's move for problem number 3. How much oxygen will add with 36 gram to give 122 gram carbon dioxide, assuming completely combustion of carbon? Now the solution is, according to the law of conservation of mass of carbon plus mass of oxygen is equal to mass of carbon dioxide. Now 36 gram plus X is equal to 132 gram. Hence the mass of oxygen is 96 gram. Now let's solve the problem number 4. A thin strip of iron with a mass of 15.5 gram is placed into a solution containing 21.0 gram of copper sulfate and copper begin to form. After some time, the reaction stops because all the copper sulfate has reacted. The iron strip is found to have a mass of 8.5 gram. The mass of copper formed is found to be 8.60 gram. What mass of iron sulfate has been formed in the reaction? Now let's do the solution. Mass of reaction is equal to initial mass minus final mass. That is equal to 15.5 minus 8.5, which is equal to 7.0. Now mass of copper sulfate is equal to 21.0 gram and mass of copper is equal to 8.60 gram. Now, according to the law of conservation of mass, mass of iron plus mass of copper sulfate is equal to mass of copper plus mass of iron sulfate. In equation, that is 7.0 gram plus 21.0 gram, which is equal to 8.60 gram plus mass of iron sulfate. Now, the answer is the mass of iron sulfate is equal to 19.40 gram. I hope you understand the concept of law of conservation of mass. Now let's start with problem number 5. Silicon dioxide made up of elements silicon and oxygen contains 46.7% by mass of silicon with what mass of oxygen will 10 gram of silicon combine? Now the solution is very simple. 100 gram of silicon dioxide contain 46.7 gram of silicon, or 100 minus 46.7, that is 53.3 gram of oxygen. It means 10 gram of silicon will contain 10 by 100 multiplied by 53.3, which is equal to 5.33 gram of oxygen. Now let's solve the problem number 6. When 0.0976 gram of magnesium was heated in air, 0.1618 gram of magnesium oxide, that is MgO, was produced. What is the mass of oxygen needed to produce 0.1618 gram of MgO? Now let's do the solution. According to the law of conservation of mass, total mass of reactant is equal to total mass of product. Mass of magnesium plus mass of oxygen is equal to mass of magnesium oxide. Now the mass of magnesium is 0.0976 gram and mass of oxygen is, we have to calculate. Now if we sum the masses of Mg and O, which gives a value 0.1618 gram MgO. Now we can calculate the mass of oxygen by minus the value of 0.0976 from 0.1618 gram. Now our answer will be 0.0642 gram of oxygen. Let's do problem with the law of definite proportion. In chemistry, the law of definite proportion, sometimes called Proust law or the law of definite proportion or law of constant composition. This law states that a given chemical compound always contains its component elements in fixed ratio and does not depend on its source and method of preparation, and the fixed ratio is present by their masses. Now let's do sample problem number 1. 6.488 gram of lead combined directly with 1.002 gram of oxygen to form lead peroxide. Lead peroxide is also produced by heating lead nitrate, and it was found that the percentage of oxygen present in lead oxide is 13.38%. Use this data to illustrate the law of constant composition. Now let's do the solution. Step 1. To calculate the percentage of oxygen in first experiment. Mass of peroxide here is equal to 6.488 plus 1.002, which is equal to 7.490 gram. Now 7.490 gram of lead peroxide contain 1.002 gram of oxygen. Therefore, 100 gram of lead peroxide will contain oxygen is equal to 1.002 divided by 7.490 multiplied by 100, which is equal to 13.38 gram. Now, oxygen present is 13.38%. Now we will follow the step 2. To compare the percentage of oxygen in both the experiment, percentage of oxygen in PbO2 in the first experiment is 13.38. Percentage of oxygen in PbO2 in the second experiment is 13.38. Since the percentage composition of oxygen in both the samples of PbO2 is identical, the above data illustrate that the law of constant proportion. Now let's move the problem number 2. Copper oxide was prepared by following method. A. In one case, 1.7 gram of the metal were dissolved in nitric acid and ignited the residual copper nitrate, yielding 2.19 gram of copper oxide. In B, in the second case, 1.14 gram of metal dissolved in nitric acid were precipitated as copper hydroxide by adding caustic alkali solution. The precipitated copper hydroxide, after washing, drying and heating, yielding 1.43 gram of copper oxide. In third case, 1.45 gram of copper when strongly heated in a current of air yield 1.83 gram of copper oxide. Show that the given data illustrate the constant composition. Let's do the solution. In step 1 or in the first experiment, 2.19 gram of copper oxide contain 1.75 gram of copper. 100 gram of copper oxide contains Cu is equal to 1.75 gram divided by 2.19 gram multiplied by 100, which gives a value of 79.91 gram. That is, percentage of copper is equal to 79.91. Now, step 2. In the second experiment, 1.43 gram of copper oxide contain 1.14 gram of copper. Therefore, 100 gram of copper oxide contain Cu is equal to 1.14 divided by 1.43 multiplied by 100. Now, which gives a value 79.722 gram. In percentage, the copper will be 79.72. Step 3. In the third experiment, 1.84 gram of copper oxide contain 1.46 gram of copper. Therefore, 100 gram of copper oxide contain copper is equal to 1.46 divided by 1.83 multiplied by 100, which gives a value 79.78 gram. Now, in percentage, the value of copper is 79.78. Thus, the percentage of copper in copper oxide derived from all the three experiments is nearly the same. Hence, the above data illustrate the law of constant composition. Now, let's start the problem based on dimensional analysis. But before that, we will clear the definition of dimensional analysis, which states that dimensional analysis is also known as unit factor. Any calculation involving the use of dimensional analysis of the different physical quantity involved is called dimensional analysis. It is used for the purpose to convert a physical quantity given in one type of units into some other type of unit. This method used is called factor label method or unit factor method. Start few problems we discuss here. First question, you have to convert kilometer unit into millimeter. Now 1 kilometer is equal to 1 kilometer multiplied by 1000 meter divided by 1 kilometer, which is further multiplied by 100 centimeter divided by 1 meter multiplied by 100 millimeter by 1 centimeter, gives a value of 10 to the power 6 millimeter. Now 1 kilometer is equal to 1 kilometer multiplied by 1000 meter divided by 1 kilometer, which is multiplied by 1 picometer divided by 10 to the power minus 12 meter, which gives a value 10 to the power 15 picometer. Now here we are converted 1 kilometer into picometer also. Now second question, we have to convert milligram unit into nanogram unit. In the same way, we will write 1 milligram into 1 gram divided by 1000 milligram, multiply by 1 kilogram divided by 1000 gram, which gives a value 10 to the power minus 6 kilogram. Now 1 milligram is equal to 1 milligram multiplied by 1 gram 1000 by milligram multiplied by 1 nanogram divided by 10 to the power minus 9 gram, which gives a value 10 to the power 6 nanogram. Now, third problem, we have to convert milliliter value into decimeter cube value. 1 milliliter is equal to 1 ml multiplied by 1 liter divided by 1000 ml, which gives a value 10 to the power minus 3 liter. Now 1 milliliter is equal to 1 centimeter cube, which is equal to 1 centimeter cube multiplied by 1 decimeter multiplied by 1 decimeter multiplied by 1 decimeter, whole divided by 10 centimeter into 10 centimeter into 10 centimeter, which gives a value that is 10 to the power minus 3 decimeter cube. All the centimeter cubes will cancel by the centimeter cubes. Thank you for your pay attention. I hope you understand the concept of dimensional analysis here. We solved 3 questions, and you already understand what is the definition of dimensional analysis. I hope you like the video, and your next classes we will discuss about the law of multiple proportion and law of reciprocal proportion, as well as we will also explain Gay-Lussac law with the explanation of Avogadro's law. Let's start solving the problem of your NCERT textbook. Thank you.